Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Kopi With Wawan. It's a series that I started because I wanted to discuss topics that I find interesting, from like films to pop culture, music, and everything else in between. Now this is a special episode where it's in collaboration with the Skinny Bakers, LETTERALLIGATOR, and Zee Avi. Now Skinny Bakers is an awesome company which sells cookies such as the movie theater caramel popcorn, and of course we have, the typical classic chocolate chip cookies. You can't go wrong with that. LETTERALLIGATOR, on the other hand, they produce really awesome and inspiring artwork like you can see over here. So if you guys want to find out more about our two collaborators, all of it's in the description box below. Just have a look and you'll find out more about them. Now the theme of this episode is on the song by Zee Avi, which is called Who Are You? Now the song is all about us embracing ourselves, our individuality and everything that's unique about us. So it's an awesome song. If you guys haven't heard it yet, please check it out in the description box below, because otherwise I'm going to be singing it here out loud and you guys don't want that. Today's guest is Nalisa Amin. She was one of the many amazing individuals who was featured in the music video. She is a plus-size model who has done many amazing work with her life, such as being in a catwalk in the Malaysian Fashion Week 2019. In this episode, we discuss things such as the mainstream media and their obsession over portraying only one type of beauty, and the body shaming that she went through and how she overcame that and became a model. In this episode, we are shooting at the Skinny Bakers at SS15 Subang Jaya, where you can find all the amazing delicious cookies right there. This is episode 2 of the Who Are You series with Nalisa Amin. Recently, you were featured in Zee Avi's latest music video, right?
Yes, I did.
Well, what was that like though? Like, how did you got involved in that?
I got involved with it because I knew the director. So Frizz. So he was like, hey, I'm shooting this Zee Avi's video and I want to feature different types of people, not just famous people, just people in general, from plus size, from different sexualities, from people from disabilities, and I want you to be part of it. So I'm like, cool, let me be part of it. And I thought it was me alone, and turns out there are 4 other girls, plus size girls, which is really cool. So I really like it. So yeah, he invited that, and I really like the video very much because it represents Malaysians.
It's nice. It was edited pretty well. It was shot really well as well. So the director really did a good job on that. You think it represented Malaysia? I
feel like it represented Malaysian where mainstream media didn't represent.
Oh, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, well, what do you mean by that? Like when you say mainstream media don't represent, can you give me like in your own thoughts and
For me, when I see mainstream media, all I see are the same type of people.
Okay.
No shade, whatever, but
sure.
So I see like people with the same body type, the same faces, the same skin tone, the same hair, the same everything. But in the Zee Avi's music video, I see people that are different sexualities, the LGBTQ community, the people from different creative background, people with different bodies and all that, different skin tones. I see all the marginalized people in Zee Avi's video.
So you think that's definitely like a good step forward when it comes to stuff like that?
Because I feel like as a tourism perspective, we keep on saying that Malaysia is multicultural, multi-diverse and everything, but when it comes
you don't see that in the media, right?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't. Even like to say we're multiracial in Malaysia, but we don't see Chinese in local
movies or like TV shows and stuff.
We don't see Indians in local.
It's segregated still, right? Even in media, that you don't see people just hanging out in the same room who are of different races. They don't have friends outside that community. So when you say that Malaysia usually have like our own typical, I guess in Hollywood, the best analogy you can give this are the Chris Evans, Hemsworth. You have that typical almost photostat. That's what Hollywood wants to represent, and that's
the photostat stars.
Exactly, right. So I guess Malaysia, do we have that same pattern too? Do you think when it comes
to men, not really. Because there are men like Remy Shah, there are men like the fair-skinned men, the dark-skinned men,
Abang
Sador, there's everything. There's a comedians and everything. But when it comes to women, it's very limited.
Really?
Like for plus size women, I can only name 2 people that are in the media right now is Sherry Aladat and Adibano.
Okay, and they've been around for a while, right? These are 2 names that are not like I think when I was a kid, these were names that was already there, and there's no space, you think, for people who are different or of their type.
For now, no, because
that's sad.
and then I noticed
maybe that's something you can is that something you would love to do though?
Oh God!
That you come out on screen.
I don't think Malaysia's ready for me. That's the thing.
You don't think so?
No, because I'm very open and I'm very comfortable in my sexuality, in a sense. Yeah, and I noticed that even though they want to represent plus size in the mainstream media, it's more towards comedic purpose.
So when you say comedic purposes, you don't mean it in the same way that Rebel Wilson comes out as a comedian. You mean it? Do you mean it more that they're the butt of the joke rather than?
They're both.
They're
It's
both,
either
yeah?
they're comedians or they are the butt of the joke.
And do you think that's toxic though?
Yeah, because people always see like, oh, okay, plus size girl, they must be funny. They must be.
Really?
Yeah, I mean like, because a lot of the majority, like in the mainstream media, especially local over here, if kalau budak gemuk, they're funny. Yeah. Macam Sherry, I love her. I love her
Yeah, of course,
everything.
yeah,
But like,
okay.
if she is not a not a comedian, I don't think she will go far.
No, but then that's really sad though, because if you think about it, that you've had other names. I'm sure that even overseas, some of these guys face the same problems. You had Jonah Hill, who started out as a comedian, and probably he was always had to be the funny guy.
Yeah.
And it took him a while before
He had to lose weight in order
he had to lose weight to get serious roles,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And I think, was it Seth Rogen made a comment about it. It was quite funny that he lost weight and now he can't make fat jokes anymore.
Yeah.
And it's weird how that works, Chow?
I don't know. I mean, like for me, comedy is very. There are some parts where it's sensitive, and there are some part you just have to laugh it off because
see.
life is already so serious already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to make things fun in
Yeah, that's
order
fair.
to
That's fair. Would you ever go down that comedic route though?
I
don't know, man.
I don't know.
Why not, right? This could be something that
I don't know.
could
Yeah, I just let life go.
go in the flow. No, that's
Yeah.
fair. That is definitely fair. When you were a kid, did you ever thought that you'd be here right now?
Oh, no.
Like modeling. No, eh? So what was your idea when you were a kid? What do you think you were gonna grow up to be?
I was thinking I'm just going to be an accountant or working in a desk job or just work as a writer in a fashion magazine.
Writer in a
Never the
fashion
one
magazine.
in front of the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, so I never seen myself as a model, as someone as pretty, like modeling clothes or makeup and everything. Because I didn't grow up feeling pretty.
Oh, why is that?
Because I had a very, very low self-esteem when I was growing up. When I was young, I was scrawny, and then I...
Wait. Being scrawny is a problem. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
being
scrawny.
scrawny. Yeah,
It is an issue.
Yeah,
It is
it
oh
is
my
an
god, the
issue.
world will never be happy.
No, they will never be happy. When I was scrawny, people would say, oh, you're not feeding your kids so well. So my mom feels pressured. So she keeps on feeding me.
You, yeah.
And then I developed appetite and I became fat. So I became fat. And now suddenly, like, people are saying, oh, your kid's too fat. So my mom
Oh
is
my
like...
goodness.
Even when at the age of 10, people, like relatives came up to me, hey, Alia, why you only 10 years old, why you fat? Like,
So it went from one extreme of like, tak makan, to like, you're feeding her too much.
yeah, so macam, and then I developed depression when I was 12, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
it's fine.
Nobody should go through depression at 12. That is insane.
Yeah,
That is insane, yeah.
It's also like not only for my body, it's also for my hair. It's because I
What's
was
wrong with your hair?
because it's weird to have curly hair back then.
It looks awesome. What the heck are you
I
talking
know,
about?
thank you. But like,
What?
no, because
It
like
was weird back then.
because
Okay.
also I was in a school full of like Chinese students.
Oh, straight hair.
Straight hair, skinny girl, like fair skin
Okay.
and all that. So I didn't quite fit in, and bless my mom, she tries her best to take care of my hair. But nobody in the family has curly hair except for me. So my
How is that?
I don't know, genetic jump or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
so weird. If it was me, right, my family would probably say I was adopted. 'Cause no, that was a joke I heard growing
No,
up. 'cause
my mom was like, oh,
so
I picked you
mean.
up somewhere. Yeah.
So I mean, like, bless our parents, but it's still a mean joke.
Yeah. So like the most she can do is just tie my hair on. She doesn't know how to take care of my hair. Like I cry to my mom like every day during that time. Like, hey, please straighten my hair. Please bring me to a salon to like rebond my hair, because like every day I keep on seeing girls with straight hair, even girls with wavy hair, they straighten their hair and all
Okay.
that, and I can see their sense of confidence. And
Right.
while I was like weeping away in the corner, like, oh my god, I want straight hair as well. But then my mom, she did the right thing of like, she told me, like, one day you're going to appreciate your hair.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty awesome.
So
That
I was
was
like,
pretty
one day you're
awesome.
going to appreciate it. Right now you're suffering right now, but one day you're going to appreciate your hair. And then I was like, okay.
And that's so cool of your mom to do that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that very few people will actually, would be, somebody would sit down and say that you're gonna appreciate that someday.
Yeah.
You know? So I wish somebody sat down with me and said that, you're gonna appreciate being dark skinned.
Yeah.
I'm considered dark skinned. My sisters all are very fair.
Okay.
They look very Chinese,
Yeah.
So I know it's weird, but as a
I don't
guy,
know how is this considered dark skin, because we're in Malaysia.
Malaysia, it's weird.
We're
People make
Malay,
fun.
yeah.
And it wasn't just macam, it was like my uncles, my cousins all made fun of me, So macam it is thinking back, like, they say guys don't go through this, and it's weird that I'm bringing this up. Macam, like,
I think everybody
it's-
goes through this.
It's something
That's the
like
thing,
that.
yeah. It's just that I feel like women are more vocal about it because we express more.
I think so. I think as a
Yeah.
guy, it's a bit like get over it.
Yeah, you'll get over it. You'll get over
That's
it.
That's what they say. to
Yeah,
us,
and then you guys will blow up.
Yeah, probably. Right? like, that kind of stuff happens too,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, going back to me, I think that your mom probably played a very crucial role in you discovering who you are as a person.
She tries her best, even though like she tells me to embrace my hair. But when it comes to body wise, she sees like how I was struggling with my weight,
Okay.
especially in young age and everything. And she does, bless her heart, I really love her, but she does feed in the toxic of pressuring me to be skinny.
Okay.
Because she sees me, oh, you're a fat kid, even though she buys me diet pills, she buys me laxatives and all that. It's not that she wants me to be like, no, you have to be pretty. She was like, I'm trying to help you, but I don't know what. Because I exercise, I go out, I play, I skateboard, everything. But it was...
You were active.
I was
Isn't
active.
it?
I was an
Yeah.
active kid. But when you become a teenager and all that, it's not enough. When I was in 13, I remember that I hated my hair so much that I tied my hair in a bun. And then people keep on calling me Rikishi.
Right.
Yeah.
Sumo.
Yes.
Okay.
We were calling Rikishi. So I was
Right.
like, what the hell? Like, even when I tak lepas my hair, even when I tie it in a neat bun, you still make fun of me. So there was one point I just told my mom, I want to cut my hair. So I
Okay.
had really, really short hair
I
that
see.
time. Yeah.
So did that help, or did it?
No, I've always been a girly girl, even when I was young.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always been playing with Barbies and all that. But at that age, I wanted to be more as a boy, so people won't make fun of me. Yeah, so I dressed up in baggy clothes. I be more into boy sports and all
Right.
that. Hang out with more boys.
Did you enjoy it though, or was it something you think you did just so that you be made
I wanted
fun
to fit
less?
in.
You wanted to fit in.
I did have fun, but I wanted to fit in.
Fit in, okay.
Yeah, but in secretly, I want to play Barbie dolls with other girls. Yeah.
But you felt like what? You felt like you weren't good enough to play Barbie dolls with the other girls, or was it like, or you just felt like insecure? Or
I felt
how
like
did
I
that-
was insecure, I wasn't good enough. I mean, like, there was plenty of times that I will bring Barbie dolls to school to play with other girls.
Like secretly. or
Yeah,
like, okay.
secretly, like, there's classes where it's free time where you can play your toys and everything.
Yeah.
And girls won't play with me because they think I'm weird. I'm the weird curly girl.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm like, whatever. I
Don't
hang
know.
out with the boys. Yeah.
Okay. So you struggle in, I suppose, in that dual. I wouldn't say dual identity. You have two sides of you, and they're both very real. Would you say that? Correct me if I'm like like assuming stuff, ke apa, right? Because but just by the way you're telling me the story is that, you as a boy going out with games, I can still see you in that. But when you say you're quite girly and feminine, I see that too. Yeah.
So I had, in a way, best of both worlds.
Best of
lah.
both worlds.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think it's okay to have best of both worlds? And what would you say, I suppose, to somebody right now who is in that position that you're in? They're trying to figure out like, okay, which one am I? Am I like the rugged, like,
Oh.
atau-
I think just embrace whatever you're feeling because sexuality is fluid. Even
Okay.
though, because femininity and masculinity is very fluid. You can be either both or you can be one or two. But I think you can't be too extreme on both sides. There's toxic on femininity as well and there's toxic masculinity as
of
well.
course,
So you
of
need
course.
to be balanced and everything in the world needs to be balanced.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, can you give me an example of what you mean by toxic femininity though? I mean, I can think of some on the masculine punya side, but like when it comes to the feminine punya like what is that? What does that look like?
Toxic femininity, jealousy, gossip.
Is that
shame.
considered femininity?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
I think you need to redefine that then.
Because as a women, I noticed as women, we grew up to be very competitive for validation, for attention, for everything. So yeah, we tend to gossip, women tend to gossip, people tend to talk to each other, backstab to each other, and all that. Women tend to judge other women's appearance and all that instead of let people be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just going back on that point that you mentioned validation. Validation is a huge thing. As much as I know people say that you have to trust in yourself, believe in yourself, but to a degree, we're all social creatures, right?
Yes, of
course,
course,
yeah. So that validation, you need that in a small way.
In a small scale.
Small scale, right? You
Yeah.
can't rely on it completely. So what are your thoughts on, you're a model. In that sense, somebody will tell you, oh, you're gonna need validation from you need the likes, you need the upper, you need people to tell you that you're pretty. But at the same time, you look like the type of person who can just go out and say F you guys. I have to remember my own rule now, I can't curse. So I mentioned that my nephew watches this stuff, so I gotta be a bit careful on that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like we are social creatures, we need validation, but I feel it's totally unhealthy to have one validation constantly, especially in a social scale, because people are constantly judging, people are constantly saying stuff to you, and you have to filter that out. And I feel like for me, it's important for me to seek validation on people that matters to me more. I don't care whatever if people that don't know me and I don't know them, they want to talk to me about it, I don't care. But if the people that matters to me most say something about me, then I take it as a grain of salt, I take it as criticism, because I know they want the best for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So how do you filter that? I know a lot of people, even myself, I've struggled with trying to understand when something is noise and when something is actually legit, because sometimes the closest people around us, I find that they have an idea of who you are, and that's not necessarily true too. And you care about them, don't get me wrong, which is why you would take it to heart, right? But where do you find that balance?
I think any criticism for me, I see it as improving myself. If for me, if my friend said, hey, you shouldn't do this, hey, that's a effed up thing to do, and I'm like, okay, let me backtrack, what did I do? Okay, I see their intentions are pure, their intentions are good, then I've learned from that. So I have to take a step back and see where are they coming from.
I see.
Yeah. So for me, noise is just, me getting likes, me getting supports from other people that my followers, it's good, it's nice, it's everything. But for me, I don't see it as a long-term thing.
Which is fair, right? Because end of the day, you want to be surrounded by the people that love you and really support you, and not just critics.
Yeah.
And that's always tough to find, and just to kind of be able to tell the difference. I guess the intention of the person is important.
Yeah. We socialize a lot. As much as you're an introvert or whatever,
I'm an introvert.
I'm an introvert as well. People just don't know. I'm an introvert as well. But it's just that.
Sorry, just to, when you say you're an introvert, you're a model. This is, I know a lot of people probably ask you this. How could you be a model and an introvert?
I think it's a job.
Okay.
It's a job. It's also a job in a sense that if I just cooped up in my cocoon the whole time, I can't expand. I can't explore what I'm capable of. So I have to push myself in a sense where I can just push myself as much as I can. But at the end of the day, I will need a few days to hibernate. I will need a few days. A few days to hibernate. If I go to social events or whatever, I'm just no more events for the past few days.
You have to go back and read or watch Netflix and stuff. I'm sure you have a lot of people writing into you and asking, what kind of stuff do you get usually on a daily basis?
They usually talk about their struggles, their body struggles, and their journey of finding their confidence, their journey of finding their self-love. How do I get this confidence? How do I reach to this level in my life and all that? For me, my advice is always take your time. Take your time. Don't rush things.
Why taking your time?
Because you need time for you to discover yourself.
But we're not given that time, though. Everybody's either you're this, you're that, or you need to figure this out now.
Figure yourself now, how?
Some people I feel like society sometimes put a lot of pressure on that, which that you need to know who you are right now.
I think is that because there's always a time frame, for example, marriage. You need to get married before 30. Why? Why do I need to get married before 30? I want to get married when I'm ready.
Right.
We're not living in 1950s anymore. We don't need to repopulate. We
I'm
don't.
not sure if we ever needed to repopulate
I mean, we
the
don't
planet,
need
though, but
as
like,
much.
Yeah.
So I feel like now is a time for us, any people, just to take your time because the world is already very fast paced. So when we like really gung ho and everything, we don't discover ourselves. We get lost with ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I feel like it's important to take a step back, just chill for a moment, just discover yourself, get to know this about yourself and everything. Just take your time.
But be intentional
Yeah.
about discovering yourself.
Yeah.
Right? It's not taking your time in a sense of I don't care, I'm just gonna do whatever and like
I mean, like, always have a purpose to why you want to improve yourself.
Do you feel like you've made like an impact, a positive impact by coming out as a model? Do you think that have anybody wrote to you about that and say that we love that you're representing this side of the community?
Yeah, I do receive that. I mean, like, I don't want to be like I'm representing the plus size community. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna represent the whole community because the community is different sizes. I'm considered small in my community. So so I don't want to be when people.
Honestly, I'm quite surprised that you're considered a plus size model. I'm very surprised.
But in models perspective, I'm plus size. So when people say, you're representing the plus size community, and I'm like, I'm not really, because I'm just one side of the community.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to underestimate representation in media. But I know that they've actually also done like actual studies on stuff like this. I think there's a university, San Francisco University or something like that. They took a bunch of people in and they wanted to say that, they test out like products out. They were saying that, if it was represented, say, by somebody who's like that typical skinny, fair, they would think twice about buying that product.
Yeah.
As opposed to if they see, there's a bit more diversity here, with this product, they're more likely to buy that.
Yeah.
So it makes them feel good.
I mean, because I feel like we're over the phase of fantasy. Yeah, because for example, the biggest example I can say in the modeling perspective, fashion perspective, Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
Nobody wants to see Victoria's Secret anymore. Victoria's Secret show, and when they see something like Fenty beauty, the Fenty lingerie, the Savage Fenty, they feel empowered because there's so many types of bodies, so many types of skin tones, and different types of women. Like, crap, there's a plus size woman wearing lingerie. Like, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think representation and reliability, yes,
Right.
is the new thing because, like, for example, YouTube. People watch YouTube because it's relatable.
Right.
Yeah, they don't watch TVs nowadays, especially kids. They don't watch TVs because it's made up, it's scripted and everything. Even though YouTube is scripted as well, but it looks real.
And it's I think the rawness of the low budget production sometimes translate as well positively, which is weird because that was probably back in the old media structure. They would have said that would never work.
But now it works. Yeah.
Because we're basically changing the world right now, and the world is changing with time and okay. So do you think there's a future for you? Like a bright future when it comes to models of different sizes or like different colors and like hair and all that.
There is a big future. There's a bright future if the bigger people allow it.
If the bigger people allow it. Okay.
It's all up to them. It's a pyramid.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid scheme. If designers, for example, if designers are willing to make more sizes for plus size, then it's going to be a bright future. We can't just make noise, but the designers are like, I'm not listening to it.
Right, so would you say, do you ever have like because we're just on the topic of like representation, right? Do you ever think you had a superhero that you could relate to as a kid?
Not a superhero, but I was a big Disney fan. So my superhero for me was there's three: Mulan, Esmeralda, and Pocahontas. Yeah.
Okay.
But for me, it's Esmeralda for me.
Why is that?
Because she's a badass.
She is a badass. You're right. I'll give her that.
I mean, she's a gypsy. She's a marginalized and everything. All she had is the goat, and and.
Okay, yes.
So I really like her in Mulan as well, and also and also because there's representation.
Okay.
Yeah. There is not.
That was growing up lah.
Yeah, it was growing up. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to go back to Zee Avi a bit untuk ni. So when it comes to the song itself, was there anything about the song that struck you personally?
I think the chorus.
The chorus, eh?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I don't know, it's like, it's a question, but it's a sentence in a way. It's like, who are you? But like, it's like, who am I? But I know who I am. I can just confidently say that I am this and this and this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So, a lot of people are struggling with that. Do you know anybody personally who you have helped got out of, in discovering themselves?
There's a couple of people that I've advised them, and surprisingly they take my advice to heart and they improve themselves, like a couple of my followers and all that. And I think there was one girl, she was in the midst of suicide because every day she's been body shamed, every day she was being told that she's not worthy enough, and she's even from her family members and everything. And I just told her, like, you're still young. There's so much more life that can offer for you. Right now you are suffering. I'm not like saying like, oh, get over it, whatever. Right now you are in that phase of your life, but one day you're gonna look back to that and you're gonna be like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Because I believe in that. I believe in that because every progress, every change, you need a little bit of pain for you to improve yourself.
Oh, that is big then.
Yeah,
that is a very big.
Because for me, I feel like when people ask me, if your childhood never happened, would you be who you are? I said, no, I would be a different person.
Right, so both the good and the bad, you take it in as something that
I take
built
it as
you
a
up.
lesson.
As a lesson.
Yeah.
That's really good though, because without pain, how would you know how to appreciate anything? How do you know how to go through any struggle, any hurdles? Because life is not a walk in the park. It's not, right? It is not. Yeah, I can. Like I said, what you do is just insane. So how did you go from all of that to, you did a catwalk, right? There was a dude. Okay, you know what? If somebody told me, one, go up on stage and walk wearing this and just own it, like, what? That's no way.
My first intention. That was my first reaction when I did my first runway.
I see. Okay.
I was like, first I did. It was. Can I say brand?
Sure.
Oh,
You can say it.
I
Go
did.
ahead.
Yeah. So me and Luna came up to me. She was like, I want you to be in my campaign photo shoot. I was like, okay, photo shoot, boleh. I mean, like, it's fine. It's front of the camera, whatever.
Yeah.
On the campaign itself, the campaign shoot, she was like, oh, I want you to walk for me. I said, because I'm not a runway model.
Right.
I'm not.
But you did it though.
I did it. Because when will I ever have this opportunity?
Oh,
yeah.
wow. So that was how you looked at it. You faced that fear.
I faced the fear. I mean, like, I have
That is
to.
badass.
Yeah. So
that is really damn badass.
Yeah.
I would have ran to the other corner and go like, bye. No way, guys. No way.
that was my first reaction. But
Yeah.
Min was like, no, you have to represent your people. My people.
Your people,
Like,
okay.
you have to
Yeah.
represent your people. And I'm like, you know what? She's right.
You did it.
I did it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, even though I was like,
what was the feedback though? Were people happy that you did it?
I received more love than hate. I was
my
to be
goodness,
honest,
yeah.
I was prepared. I was prepared
For, like, the hate?
Yeah, I was prepared for the hate and everything. I was like plus size model, like kontot, like gemuk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah.
but I received more love.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So sometimes the world can be nice for a change, kan?
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to close off the session right now, ni. I know, but you know what? There'll definitely be more
Okay.
into ni. But if you had to give any last word to people who are out there trying to discover themselves, what would that be?
Like I said, take your time.
Take your time.
Take
Let's still
your
go to that,
time.
yeah? Okay.
Take your time to rediscover yourself. And don't beat yourself up even though you're not perfect.
I like that.
Don't beat yourself
up,
because
yeah.
I'm not saying that imperfect, whatever. You are who you are because it is how it is.
Right.
Yeah, and just take it like how you are right now and make it better.
Alright.
Yeah.
So if you had to describe yourself in one word right now, ni, at this point of time, like what would that word be for you?
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. There you have it, folks. That is awesome. Nalisa, thank you very much for
No
coming on the show.
problem. Thank you.
Thank you. It's such an honor. And guys, until the next episode, bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, the series of podcasts was brought to you by collaboration between me and the Skinny Bakers. It's to promote positivity and love for yourself and also delicious cookies. So who doesn't like music and cookies, right? Don't forget to check out the Skinny Bakers with their new flavors, French butter cookies, sea salt pistachio, their bestseller salted caramel chocolate chip cookies, and my personal favorite right now, fruity pebbles. But hang on tight guys because Skinny Bakers and I are going to come up with our own special flavor that's coming soon. So watch this space. Alright, till then, see you guys.
I was, I think I was so like convinced with myself. Like I had conviction when I did it. So maybe that's why my parents were like really okay with it. Like they were convinced by my confidence.
Right.
But I mean, obviously, like I think you always have moments of being fear. Like you have fear, but like
Sure.
it's either you let it like overwhelm you, or you just let it exist in that space and just kind of ride with it. Because you're not always going to be confident, right?